Hello everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hyram. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hyram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. So you guys, I think this is the first time in a video, probably the first time in history, that I'm wearing yellow. I hate the color yellow. But I found this clothing brand on TikTok called Yeetai. They make really high quality, super cute outfits and I'm kind of digging the yellow, not gonna lie. I am so stoked and a little bit nervous for this video because I'm going to be retesting all of my old favorite skincare products. Well, I shouldn't say all of them, but basically here's the gist. I've been making videos on YouTube for 4 years now. Oof. God, that sounds old. Do I qualify for Social Security yet? Oof. And a lot can change in 4 years. Definitely a lot of my skincare opinions, and especially from when I first started my channel. Because when I first started doing YouTube, my skincare opinions were not, I just wasn't as educated about ingredients and formulas as I am now. And I used to use a lot of products that I might find questionable now. So what I did is I went to my old videos and found all of my old favorite products, and I'm going to be retesting them in this video. These are the products that I used to be obsessed with. I considered my holy grails, and pretty much all of them I haven't used in a really long time, so I'm really interested to see what my experience and opinion is going to be on them now. Unfortunately, a lot of the products I used to love are now discontinued, so I'm not able to test out as crazy of products as I would have preferred, but these products are fucking nostalgic. I haven't used them in years, and I'm really excited to try them out and kind of see what my opinion is on them now. If I love them, if I hate them, and kind of reflect back on how much my skincare opinions have changed over the years. So let's just jump into it. Lord above, please do not let these products irritate the fuck out of my skin. I do not need more breakouts and sunburnt looking skin than I already have. Thank you. Oh my god, I don't even know how to cross myself right. Anyway, so in case you were wondering why my skin looks a little bit extra red right now, it's because I haven't done my skincare routine. I kept my skin fresh for this video and my skin is like, what the fuck is going on? It's been 20 minutes and you haven't put on skincare. It's like torture to my skin. So I'm gonna first start out with a cleanser. And this is the part of the routine that I am most nervous about because I'm going to be going in with the Estee Lauder Perfectly Clean Multi-Action Cleansing Gel Refiner. Ideal for oily skin. I used to love this shit. I used it every day. And I already know that it's going to be way too fucking strong for my skin and it's probably going to dry the fuck out of my moisture barrier. I will say my opinion on this cleanser has definitely changed over the years. Let me give you a little backstory. So I've always had oily skin and living in Hawaii makes oily skin like the fucking worst because you are always greasy, you are always sweating. It's just not a good time. And back when I was filming videos when I really liked this product, I was working as a server and the restaurant was outside, so I was constantly dripping in sweat and my skin was always greasy. I really wanted something that would just bulldoze all of the oil off my face and make sure my skin had absolutely no sebum left to give, which meant my cleansers back there tended to be a lot stronger than the ones that I would use today. What I didn't realize back then, and what a lot of people don't know, is that cleansing can be one of the most damaging parts of your skincare routine if you're not using either the right cleanser for your skin type or if you're using too strong of a cleanser. And I would venture to guess that this cleanser is definitely way too strong for the skin. It is also heavily fragranced, and I am someone who, doesn't really mind fragrance in a cleanser to a point, but this one is so heavily perfumed. Oh my god, I forgot it has a scrub in it. Oh my god, I already know I'm gonna hate this. Oh, it has little exfoliating beads. I mean, from what I remember, the good thing is that the beads do like dissipate with water, but I'm gonna froth it up a lot. Oh boy, here we go. Holy shit, that is like a straight perfume. That literally smells like a perfume that you buy at a fancy store. Oh my god. The exfoliating beads. I can already feel the redness that my skin is going to have after this. It's a little bit thick on consistency, but I can already feel that it's drying out my skin. I need more water. And I forgot how much it froths up. Oh. And personally, I don't mind a frothy cleanser. Like, I do like a little bit of froth, but this one just kind of goes overboard, which is why I believe it is so drying to the skin. The good thing, I guess, is that the exfoliating beads are not like crazy intense. However, I will say when I used to use this cleanser, I would go in on my skin. Like, I would scrub the fuck. Oh my god, I just remembered something. I used to use this cleanser with a Clarisonic. The sins of the past. Oh my god, I can't take it. Jesus, I forgot about that. I used to love Clarisonic. I would use it like pretty regularly. I believe at one point I was using it every day, which is so not good. But I think for like at least a year, I use my Clarisonic a few times a week, and a Clarisonic in combination with the refining beads in this cleanser is just way too much for the skin. Well, RIP Clarisonic, they went out of business. Nowadays, I definitely would not recommend using a cleansing brush like that. They can be way too harsh on the skin. Oh my god, it is really not fun not cleansing your face in front of a sink. Okay, I think it's almost all off. Whew. Whew. Okay, how are you feeling? Oh, well, my face definitely feels red. That's for sure. It feels dry AF. Oh my god, yeah, looking at this ingredient list, the second ingredient is sodium lauryl sulfate, which isn't the worst cleansing ingredient in the world, but it tends to be very stripping to the skin, which is why I personally prefer to not use cleansers that don't have sodium lauryl sulfate. It's just kind of an old-fashioned, overly stripping cleansing ingredient, and there's so many better cleansing agents out there that are way more gentle on the skin, but just as effective. Nowadays, instead of this cleanser, I would definitely recommend the Then I Met You green tea cleanser, or the Selfless by Hyram green tea and centella cleanser as well. Either of those still give you a good cleansing experience without overly stripping your skin and are really good for oily skin. If you want to see my favorite cleansers for oily skin, then I highly recommend you go watch my best of 2022 cleansing video. But I will say it's not as horrible as I remember, but granted, if I was using this 2 times a day like I used to, oh my god, my skin would be so dehydrated. There's no way in hell I would continue doing that. No bueno! Okay, well, now that my skin is proficiently dry, I'm gonna go in with the next product, which is one I used to be absolutely obsessed with, but I literally shit on this type of product all the time nowadays. It is the Indie Lee CoQ10 toner. Yes, I used to use and recommend a toner on my channel. Who'da thunk? I used to love this product, and I will give myself some credit. The main reason I used to love this one is because of the Q10. I had a hard time finding that ingredient in literally any other product, and to this day, it's like kind of a difficult product to find. Sorry, difficult ingredient to find. Plus, I got to meet Indie Lee. She taught me about her brand. This one, you know what? I still think it's an innovative formula in the sense that it is delivering the benefits of Q10 into your skin in a toner, liquid, lightweight format. A lot of Q10 products out there tend to be really heavy on the skin. However, I will say I'm just not a toner person nowadays. I like to keep my skincare routine as minimal as possible, and I feel like if I want to see the benefits of Q10 production within my skin, I would rather use a serum, which is literally why we developed the Selfless by Hyram Q10 and Ginger Daily Defense Serum. I'll be honest, I used to saturate a cotton round with this toner before I realized that I was like wasting so much of my product by using a cotton round, and I don't believe I ever had the big bottle of this one. I always use like the small little sample bottles, but here we go. Okay, and then pat it into the skin. I'm also just not a fan of spray formulas. I don't know, it's not a very luxurious experience for me, as you can just see. Plus, I feel like for a lot of sprays, you end up losing a lot of product in the air. I will say it is tackier than what I remember. I typically like toners that disappear into the skin because my skin is so oily, but I am in Colorado right now. My skin needs a little bit of extra hydration, so I don't mind having a little bit of that tackiness, but on the day-to-day in Hawaii, I probably wouldn't continue using this product just because personally I hate that tacky sensation on the skin. Let me know if you guys like feel the same way, but I don't know, there's just something about it that feels kind of unpleasant on the skin, and I've noticed that a lot of products that feel tacky on the skin afterwards tend to feel very heavy on the skin, but we'll see. Honestly, when it comes to the formula, I still like this product. I think I would just prefer it in an alternative formula than a toner, but if you are someone who likes toners and you want to get that Q10 experience, I would definitely recommend trying this one out. Okay, and then the next step is a moisturizer for my dry cheeks. Now, I typically have to use 2 moisturizers for my skin because even though my skin does get very oily, my cheeks are pretty dehydrated, and so I have to use a separate moisturizer for my oily T-zone than my dry cheeks. And a product I used to really enjoy for my dry areas, and I would recommend it all the time, is the Dr. Jart Ceramidin Cream. Now, this one to this day continues to have a cult following. I will say, looking at this skincare routine, it is quite expensive. All these products range from like $20 to $50 each. I think this one's like $45 or $48. I will admit that is probably the biggest change in the years I've been in the skincare world, is that when I started into skincare, I was spending a lot on skincare products. Now, granted, a lot of people around me were spending like so much money on skincare products. So at the time, I thought I was choosing more affordable products, but nowadays, with all the skincare brands and products in the amazing selection, I'm like, damn, like I was using SK2, Estee Lauder. A lot of the products I used exceeded the $80 price point, which I'm just like, whoa, not anymore. I'd say my ideal price point is like the $20 to $30 range nowadays. And if I can find more affordable products, that's awesome. But anyway, this moisturizer is really popular because of how much hydration and moisture it adds to the skin. People who struggle with eczema, really severe dryness and dehydration rave about this product. And I definitely enjoyed using it in the past, like as an overnight moisturizer. I remember this product being fragranced, but I don't smell anything now. I wonder if they changed the formula, because I remember I stopped using this cream because it did have fragrance, and I was like, I don't want to recommend a fragrance product to my audience. Like, that's one of the biggest pitfalls that I think of Dr. Jart, is that they have such incredible formulas, but they definitely like the fragrance. But this one doesn't smell like anything, so I gotta check the ingredients again. But guys, this feels really nice on the skin. I'm not gonna lie, my skin feels super moisturized after applying it, and a lot of people with severe eczema have actually talked about how this product has really rescued their skin. Again, I'd say my biggest issue with this product is the price point, but you know, for me, if I find an absolutely incredible product that just blows my mind find a way and I'm like, oh my God, I need this in my life. If it's like $50 and under, then it's something that I can totally do. I can justify that. I just have to be absolutely in love with this. But yeah, for my dry areas, this works great. It's way too thick and rich for my T-zone, which is why I'm going to go into the next product, which you guys, if you are OGs on my channel, you will recognize this product in a heartbeat because I used to talk about it constantly. I literally would not shut up about this moisturizer, and I feel very nostalgic looking at it because I'm like, oh my God, I haven't used this one in so long. It is the First Aid Beauty Coconut Water Cream. This was the moisturizer, single-handedly, bitch. I tried so many different moisturizer formulas out, and every single one of them would always make my skin super greasy, or I would just immediately sweat it out in the Hawaii humidity. And this was the only moisturizer that actually stayed on my skin throughout the day, no matter how much I was sweating, and still moisturized my skin. To this day, I actually continue to recommend this moisturizer to anyone who has oily skin because of how game-changing it is. Also, a reason I love this one is because it immediately absorbs into the skin. And this was a good thing for me because the previous place I used to live had no AC. Well, most places in Hawaii don't have any AC, but it felt like Satan was farting in there. It was so hot to the point that like after I would take a shower, I would just right away start sweating. And so I always had difficulty with moisturizers because I would apply it on my face and then within 30 seconds, I'm already sweating it out. And so this one I loved because I never had to worry about that. I would apply it on my skin. 5 seconds later, it's absorbed. My skin feels moisturized and it would stay on throughout the whole day. And honestly, applying it to my skin now, I'm just like, dang, I should really start using this product again. My skin is more dehydrated than it used to be. So I do opt for a little bit more moisturizing formulas, but hey, I still struggle with having super oily skin from time to time, especially during the summer, and this feels great. Oh, what a beautiful formula. I would love to talk to the person who developed this formula. I still love First Aid Beauty. They were literally featured in my best of 2022 serum video. Yeah, I still stand by this product. It's really, really nice. Okay, not gonna lie, the next product I'm a little bit nervous about. So back in the beginning days of my channel, I was constantly on the hunt for a mineral sunscreen that performed really well. And at the time, you guys, there really was nothing. Like the sunscreen world has changed so much in the last 3 years. The formulas we have today are literally a million times better than what you could even find back then. And so trying to find a good mineral sunscreen formula that didn't leave a severe white cast on the skin was just a challenge. More oftentimes than not, I would just be disappointed and I had to go throughout life with a severe white sheen across the surface of my skin. This next sunscreen, the Ren Clean Screen Mineral SPF 30, at the time, this was the best mineral sunscreen formula I could find. However, I think I remember kind of quickly falling out of love with it once I was able to find better formulas because this, from what I remember, does have somewhat of a severe white cast. But I liked this one because it is mattifying. I never really had to worry about it making my skin look extra greasy, but I'm nervous about it now because, let me smell it. Okay, yes. So this one has a lot of a citrus essential oil, which I'm not a fan of because they tend to irritate my skin. And citrus essential oils aren't necessarily the best thing to have in a sunscreen because they can oxidize when exposed to UV light and become irritating and sensitizing to the skin. I'm gonna go in a little bit conservatively, but who knows? Maybe they changed the formula. Oh, you know what? Maybe they did because this feels a lot more lighter of a formula than it used to be. I feel like it used to be super thick, but let's go. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I feel like I'm going to have to do a lot of rubbing onto my skin. Ooh, okay, yes. I actually don't think they've changed the formula because this does feel very thick on the skin. When it comes to mineral sunscreen formulas, a lot of times you do have to, really work it into the skin for it to properly dissipate. But I think I kind of quickly grew tired of this one because I was like, you know what? This is a lot of work. I'm having to like really rub it into my skin and oh my God, it's so dry. Holy shit. This is really difficult to rub. I am like, this cannot be good for my skin. Oh my God, I feel like I'm stretching out my face. Kind of hurting my skin. Holy shit. Okay, yep, they definitely have not changed this formula. It is still as thick as ever. But you have to remember, guys, at the time, this was the best I could find, but yeah, not anymore. This honestly kind of reminds me of the CeraVe SPF 50 formula that I absolutely hate, except this one is, hopefully a little less white casty. Okay, I'm not gonna rub it into my skin anymore. I've already done enough. I need a mirror. Okay, let's see this. Oh my God. Bruh, I look like a ghost. Okay, I mean, it's not terrible, but my skin does look very white. Like, it is very noticeable that a sunscreen is there. And, while I don't totally mind the powdered makeup type look, this is a little bit too intense for my skin, and given that the experience of applying it to my skin was absolutely horrendous, I do not recommend the sunscreen whatsoever. Okay, so I actually just went and looked in natural light to see what it would look like because in like these studio lights, white cast tends to be a lot more apparent than just in natural light. highlight, and actually it doesn't look too bad. It looks a lot better than what I was looking at in the mirror. I still wouldn't prefer using this product just because the experience is not the most pleasant at all, but at least for my skin tone, it doesn't have too intense of a white cast. Would it be a sunscreen that I'd recommend in general to people? Not really. And then for the final product, this one is the most nostalgic, and honestly, I kind of have a love-hate relationship. I want to continue using this product, but I don't think it's really realistic. It is the Tarte Set and Protect Sunscreen Powder. This used to go with me wherever I went. I would constantly have it in my serving belt. I would use this product like 5-6 times a day. Wherever I went, this would come with me. Now, this is a sunscreen powder, and while that sounds really amazing, I am somewhat skeptical when it comes to the efficacy of sunscreen powders, because in order to get the sunscreen amount listed on this, which is SPF 30, you need to apply a lot of powder to the face. So mostly I used this one to help control any excess oil or sebum on my face throughout the day, while also potentially getting a little bit of sunscreen protection. But the main reason I stopped using this one is because it is very difficult to sanitize and clean. With this brush, so the way it works is that the sunscreen powder is dispensed into the brush, and then you just brush it across your face. There's a little hole at the bottom of the brush that leads to the canister of sunscreen. But every time I would try to clean the brush, it would clog the sunscreen hole, which meant no more product was able to be dispersed. And I wasn't really a huge fan of that, because I do use like translucent powder when I'm filming videos, for example, but I use a separate brush that I'm able to clean regularly. If you're not able to regularly clean your brush, then you do risk reintroducing bacteria to your face, and it can lead to breakouts, skin sensitivity, just a lot of issues, which is really unfortunate because I really liked this formula and I would use it literally all the time. And even as I'm using it on my face now, I'm like, oh, it feels really nice. I love how it mattifies the skin, but I personally would not continue using this product. And instead nowadays, I just opt for a really effective sunscreen formula in like a cream consistency or a gel that I can use. And if you want to see what all of my favorite sunscreen recommendations are, I highly recommend you go watch my best of 2022 video. There are such good sunscreens there. Like if you have oily skin like me, I love the Cynic sunscreen. Wow, that one is just a dream to use. It feels like a gel on the skin. Or if you want something that you can like find at Target, the Hero Cosmetics SPF 30 sunscreen is an amazing mineral formula. And I know there are other brands that have sunscreen powders where you can remove the brush and clean it, but I've only found 2 and both of them are like over $50, which is a lot of money for a sunscreen powder formula. So if you guys know of any others that are a good price point that still offer this experience, let me know because I would love to try them out. But yeah, I had a lot of good years with this product, but I don't think I'll continue using it. And there we go. That is the video. I'm looking extra pale. Between the sunscreen and the sunscreen powder, I am definitely feeling white. But overall, I will say I was a lot more nervous about my skin reacting and having a bad sensitive reaction to using these products, but it feels fine so far. My overall thoughts, I really like the moisturizers. I would definitely continue using them to this day. I probably wouldn't continue using the toner just because that's not my vibe. I definitely wouldn't use the sunscreen or the cleanser like ever again, probably. But I think from filming this video, I'm like, damn, I should really start using the First Aid Beauty moisturizer and the ceramide moisturizer again because those are really good formulas. What do you guys think? Have you guys tried these products before? I would love to know your thoughts. If you've tested them out or if you found any products that are better than these ones, because I'm always on the lookout for new products and would love to test them out for you guys. If you haven't already, make sure you go check out my new coffee collaboration that I did with Foxtail Coffee called Selfless Coffee. You can find all the coffee blends and everything you need to know at selfless.coffee. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. What is your go-to coffee order?
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of hate or love from this, but I love my caramel macchiato from Starbucks.
Wow. Okay, so you like the
Yeah.
2% coffee content and 98% sugar content.